live in the Hunters Point area. I'm being evicted out of my home that I've been in for 27 years. I've grown up in this home. Hunters Point is not much of a good area, but it's home to everybody that's been there for so long. And all these companies coming in and taking over our area, it's a little difficult because we have nowhere to go. Where do we go? Where do we stand as a people in our own neighborhood where we're getting pushed out of because of these large billion-dollar companies?
As this drama plays out, a new kind of segregation between rich and poor is emerging.
That was a look at the new HBO documentary, San Francisco 2.0, which explores the effects of the IT invasion in the city. Joining us now is the director and producer of the film, Alexandra Pelosi. Also with us is entrepreneur in residence at Dell, Elizabeth Gore. Alexandra, if you look at the numbers of what's been happening in San Francisco, we all know, we've all seen this incredible tech boom. Look at them then, the kinds of average rents that you see in the city. What's happening to people that live there that had lower incomes that just can't afford $3,000 a month?
Right, so generations of people that have lived in the city are being pushed out. And we have a real problem, as Robert Reich says in the film, that the cities are becoming gated communities where only the wealthy can live. And it's just a challenge for regulators to make rules to help. In San Francisco, we don't have affordable housing because it's a very small peninsula, and it's generations going back that they never built it. And this is just a sort of a problem. San Francisco is a microcosm of what's happening in the country.
Right.
That cities, it's a very it's very in vogue to be anti-politician, very anti-regulation, very anti-law. But it's just, we need rules so that we can all live together in cities, right? We don't want cities just to become for only the rich who can buy their way in. So the film is just addressing that issue of who gets to live in the city. Is it only for the people that can buy their way in? And this is sort of a spiritual question and an economic question, and there's no real easy answer, of course.
So when you say, you know, who can afford to buy their way in, Elizabeth, the woman we showed in the clip was from Hunters Point. That's not exactly North Beach or Pacific Heights. Hunters Point is Hunters Point. So how do you do this? I mean, you've got an environment where they're just gobbling up, it would seem, territory after territory.
Well, there's a question here of you shared economy now that's coming in, so people are doing even rentals of their homes and Airbnb. And then you look at how do policymakers engage with these individuals? How do we have a society that has people that we want that's diverse to our left and our right? So I guess my question even back would be, how does a normal citizen work with policymakers to keep their homes but yet also have this growing economy? It's a tough juxtaposition to be in.
And I'm so happy that you brought up the sharing economy, because San Francisco is ground zero for the sharing economy.
Right.
That's the headquarters for Airbnb and, well, Uber now moving to Oakland. But all of these, the new world order, the new economic world order is being determined right now. Airbnb is going on the ballot in San Francisco. This is the first place where they're really testing how many nights a week can you do it? Do you have to pay taxes?
Right.
Some people can't afford to stay in the city unless they're renting out a room in their apartment.
This is like Bernie Sanders territory now.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's interesting because it's a really complicated issue. There's no right answer. A lot of people need Airbnb to stay in the city. So you can't be anti-Airbnb. You need people to be able to stay in the city. Because if they couldn't afford to stay in the city, then it's only making the matters worse. If there's no affordable housing, and then you're taking all this housing off the market to then use it as, you know, everyone's becoming a hotelier at night, they're renting out rooms, and everyone's using their car to moonlight as a taxi driver at night, you have this new economy emerging, right? Some call it the gig economy, right? This new emerging, and we need to figure out the rules of engagement, how we're going to let this new cap for capitalism to work and for democracy to work. We just need rules. Well, and I'm not saying what the rules should be. I'm just saying we need rules, and that's what they're deciding in San Francisco. It's actually going on the ballot. People are actually having hearings. They're actually trying to decide what are the new rules of the new economy.
Alexandra, back to the woman in the film. She asked the question, where do we go? And that led to my question, well, where do they go? Where are they going?
San Jose.
Yeah, they're getting pushed out further and further and further out to the community. It's funny.
And not just a few miles.
Hours.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And what's interesting is that, you know, I do the Bill Maher show a lot, and I did the show to talk about this film last week, and I got flooded, 3,000 emails the next morning of people saying, I live in West Palm Beach, I live in Dallas, it's happening all across the country. It's just, I'm focusing on my hometown because, you know, it has a special place in my heart, and it has the reputation of being counterculture capital of America. So when you talk about pushing out artists and documentary filmmakers, people get sad. But it is happening all across the country. country in different ways.
Yeah.
And it is
And
something
now-
that everybody is experiencing.
Well, there's a living wage debate coming up, too. So all the counties around San Francisco will be voting on what is a living wage. And so what do I need for a family of 4 to survive? Is that $15 an hour, $16 an hour? And that has everything to do with rent as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And so we have a lot of issues that come out of this that we need to address. And I know that it's time we're all talking about, the drama in Congress or what's happening. It's really that we do actually need laws.
Right.
To keep,
right.
So just so everybody knows what the rules are.
We're going to carry on needing them because this is only going to get more complex. The HBO documentary film, San Francisco 2.0.
Can you imagine what the living wage would be in Marin?
Right, in Marin County. That'll be the next documentary.